day on the John Benet Ramsey stuff, and I don't know if I'm going to have it done by Friday. I'm working really hard to make sure that that happens. We were going to do Gypsy tonight. We put it off till tomorrow, and it's going to be 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Central. For those that would like to come and participate, it should be a great conversation and everything like that. But it's definitely set in stone. I just got so behind the eight ball today working on that. I just actually just wrapped up what I was working on today. Melanie, thank you so much for the little gift. Somebody bought Delilah a little cocoon thingy that I put on the wish list, but I don't know who it comes with because if you don't fill out the little gift, little receipt thing, it doesn't say. But Melanie, the coffee box did come. So thank you. Thank you. It's nice to see you, Melanie, Michelle, Houston, Danielle, Denise, Peggy, Clarence, Grace upon Grace. It's nice to see you, Jill, Gigi, Groovy Gal, Robin, Mickey, Shell, Kendra, Elizabeth. It's nice to see you, Metal Ass. It's hard not to laugh. Oma, Sky Maiden, Hit House. It's nice to see you. Oops, we gotta be careful. We don't want to hit somebody by accident. JH, aloha, aloha. I don't know why I keep doing that. Stephanie, good evening. Natalie, Pat, it's nice to see you. Gina, Marion, Jojo Wolf is up in the house. Sarah without an age. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Who else do we have? We have Jacqueline, Brenda, Eeyore Blues, Kay Kelly, Open Mind Perspectives. Nice to see you. Just a Nurse. Hello, hello, hello. Did you get my email? I haven't even checked emails. I saw there was a few in there, but I didn't even get an opportunity to look at them. I'm so sorry, Oma. I've been working literally all day. I feel like I got nothing accomplished, but it's looking good. I did a lot of work. I wish it was not such a long, drawn out process rather. Vegetable Horn, the best YouTube channel ever. Aw, thank you. Groovy Gal, it's nice to see you. Mama Bear, Robin, hey, hey, hey. It's Robin saying brr. I had to take Delilah out, and I'm literally freezing, and she's out there lollygagging. And I'm just like, are you coming in? She's looking at me. I'm like, don't even think about it. She didn't see Emily enough today, so as soon as she got out this afternoon or this evening, I just took her out. She ran over there and started barking outside of Clint's door. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's nice to see you guys. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a 15-year-old boy that disappeared from his home. We've been talking about his story for quite some time, along with other content creators on this platform and other platforms. This case has really mystified us in a lot of respects, from him being an autistic boy, but a high-functioning autistic boy. Some of his behaviors, some of the parents' behaviors, inconsistencies, and everything like that. I think it's kind of captivated us, and we're kind of sucked into this. Some of us have a little more interest in this case than others. Because it's complex, and we've been working around the clock trying to find answers. And I know things have kind of cooled off a little bit as far as our activity has gone, because we were going over maps, we were doing a lot of different things, trying to find different tidbits that might help us locate where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is. And, with all the teams, all the people involved, everybody has come up shorthanded in finding where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is, but we know that his stepfather has said on multiple occasions, we're not going to find him. And so that always keeps, every single day that we go through this, it just rings true in my head about how we still haven't found him. And we have a stepfather saying we're never going to find him. So 37 in Henderson, Texas. Woof, woof. 11 in Indiana. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's just too cold. I don't know how you guys do it. That's just too cold. Okay, this Florida girl would die. I would die. I don't know if I would ever adjust to 11-degree weather. I'm sorry. I just don't know if I will. We are flooding in New York. Oh my goodness. From what? I gave you the timestamp. Oh, okay, then Oma, I probably did get it because I do remember reading an email or seeing one pop up. I just couldn't go back and look at it. You are so awesome. What do you do for these kids? Yeah, we've got a lot going on in this particular case. I mean, at the end of the day, it's hard to wrap our head around it because the people that don't understand autism may not understand autism. We try to explain it the best we can, but their behaviors really kind of stand apart from one or another. You know, their behavior, their mannerisms, what causes them to have meltdowns and things like that. They do vaguely have some similarities, and the only one so far that I've found has been video games. It seems like a lot of people on the spectrum thrive on video games. But we have been searching high and low for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers since he disappeared. And I shouldn't really say since he disappeared, because when he disappeared, none of us knew he was gone. Quite frankly, most of us at the time were focused on Maddie Soto, which disappeared the same exact day as Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. That took a lot of our attention, the Madeline Soto case, and then right after that came the Riley Strain case. So if it wasn't for some people on social media bringing up this case, I don't know if this case would be what it is today. I don't think anybody, I think we've talked about it before, I don't think anybody anticipated at all that this case would be the case it is today. It is absolutely, without a doubt, a high profile case, which has its that has its benefits, but it also has its negative attributes as well, right? And this case has had a lot of unsavory people involved with misinformation and disinformation campaigns. These are designed only to help people that are in trouble, okay? There are certain teams that we identified and have identified for quite some time as being these teams of people that do everything they can to benefit, again, the bad guy. And they do that with a whole bunch of different tools that we don't really consider tools, but they are. And this is constantly challenging somebody's professional abilities, such as, you know, calling them a predator of some sort, trying to get them fired from their jobs, really doing a campaign of defamation on their character. It's just been crazy, to say the least. And we know the other things that go along with it. We watched it in real time. However, very few. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Michelle gifted one Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to say thank you. Hey, Kim. Ooh, North Dakota. Brr. Hey, Pussy Willow Pendercat. Nice to see you, B. Betty. It's nice to see you, Jacqueline. You were the one that got the gifted membership. Don't forget to tell Michelle thank you. Granny, hello. True Crime Junkie. It's nice to see you. Truth and Chime. Morgan. Hello, guys. I hope you're doing well. The one problem that we've had in this case, besides the massive distraction campaigns that have been going on from a particular group of content creators that have aligned with one another for a defamation campaign, one that's completely untruthful and only meant to distract and lose people's focus and knock people off balance. At the end of the day, if we took a lot of things out of this case, such as the mom and son, and replaced them with a husband and a wife, or a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or other family members, we wouldn't have a problem seeing what is going on here. Now, do I know 100% that something bad happened to Sebastian? I know something bad happened to him in the sense that he was here one minute and gone the next, and we know he cannot be doing all of this by himself, right? So then you have to look at what does that look like? It can be an abduction. I think that um, has been taken off the list for a variety of reasons. Most abductions are family oriented. So, I mean, could we look at this that way? Yes. But again, his father was at work. His mom was at home with him. His stepfather was allegedly 3 hours away. So then you look at what we have to face us. And right now we have what appears to be people on the outside of his house hours before he was reported missing. There's also proof that there was a light going back toward the house, and that light never came back from that house. I think that's important to note. Since that moment, nobody has seen or heard or anything from Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers allegedly since whenever the thud happened, which I can't tell you if it happened at 10, if it happened at 10:30, if it happened at 11 or 11:30, because that timing has also been pretty much inconsistent. I've heard as late as 11 p.m. at night when the thud was heard. So I'm unclear on that. There has been many and multiple search efforts from several content creators on this platform, several content creators on TikTok platform. We've had several private searches from the father. We've had multiple private searches from law enforcement. Nothing has turned up this young boy to date. A few key things that have happened is the FBI stepped up and provided a $50,000 reward. Shortly thereafter, Dog the Bounty Hunter and Nick the Hat got into the case. They have increased the reward multiple times, searching and seeking evidence in this case to help locate Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. They've just recently had video out there about the Texas Roadhouse. It does seem like there were some things. It didn't just seem that it was just dinner, okay? Something else may or may not have been going on there, and we all have our opinions about the situation. We did all visually see her looking around. We did all visually see a conversation that happened outside of the restaurant. Are we looking too far into it? Are we not looking at far enough into it? I really don't know. And I don't know how we're going to figure or find out. Shortly before that revelation, we had another bombshell revelation in the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case, predominantly the fact that there were not just one or two CPS reports, but a total of 5 different CPS reports, 4 of which the father has, and one that's still active and open that the father could not acquire. That was groundbreaking information, in my opinion, because we've all heard about this alleged incident that had CPS involved, but we were lied to. At one point, it was already closed. It was just a simple, he got in trouble for not wearing a belt and blew it out of proportion. But there were some key things with that description as well from the stepfather, because he alleged when he was trying to explain it that it was a CPS worker that he has seen before, which implies more reports. And I think that was a slip up and should not have, he didn't mean to do that. So that at the very beginning, like around April, March, the end of March, April, we were all fixated on these 2 potential, oh, thank you, Melanie, these 2 potential report. I agree with you, Maria. CPS did fail Sebastian. CPS failed Summer Wells. CPS fails all over this country. There is a way to fix the problem, but as long as our federal government is involved in the process, this is going to be about as good as it gets, just in my opinion. And unless they can start, throwing money at this, because the only thing that's going to fix the problem we're having in our Department of Children and Family Services is money, right? It's money. It's being able to pay the workers a decent salary to deal with the level of cases they have. So, some of these cases are pretty hard on the social workers. You can't imagine some of the cases that they have to be handling. So it comes down to money, burnout rate, caseload. There's just a lot of things, and it's not just Tennessee when it comes to our Department of Children and Family Services in the state. We all know this is an issue from state to state. This is not unheard of. I mean, Harmony Montgomery was in New Hampshire. So this is in Tennessee. So we can't just, it's an issue within the entire functioning, and I really do believe it comes down to money. The problems can be remedied, and I don't know if it'll ever be a perfect system, but it can be remedied, and I do believe it could get better. But how much are they willing to spend to get it better? That's the name of the game. So, in my opinion, the 5th CPS is the one they opened for Sebastian's disappearance. It required that they open it once LE notified them of his disappearance. Interesting, Kay. That very well may be the fact. So, there's still 4 standing in front of it. It would be, very interesting. I don't know if we'll ever understand or know the details of the 5 CPS reports, but it's definitely interesting how well they were able to keep this under wraps up until this point. And going back to that whole Texas Roadhouse, it's a little insight on information that we haven't seen in a really long time. Not just in a really long time, but we've only had really one other video kind of make it or surface to the public, and that was from Nick Barris. And since then, he's tried to throw people off. But at the end of the day, there was something going on the outside of the house hours before. And then we've got a whole entire family more concerned about what's being said about them than the concern of their child that's missing. A birthday that just went by with not one public post because they're worried about people who cares? It's about honoring that person. And it makes you wonder, did they even really honor him? His father did a live broadcast and kind of talked about some of the past birthdays and really tried to have a hopeful message. It was very heartbreaking. Recently has had an opportunity to speak with law enforcement despite us not understanding or knowing what the details of those conversations were. It seemed like the father was upbeat, hopeful, renewed faith is kind of the theme song of that whole interview with Channel 2. And then we kind of fast forward to today. We've been talking a lot about the case and a lot about our theories. We went through a timeline. We went through what are the possibilities of Sebastian running off. I believe there's at least one in New Mexico and at least one in Cali, so there's possibly at least 7. Crystal clear, Chris. Nothing to be proud of what it's involved in. I didn't even think about that, but you actually might be right about that. I'm just completely unsure. Did Open CPS case say CP choked? I don't know what's in those reports, y'all. Nobody's seen them. I think people, obviously we know about him. We first learned about him from the stepfather, and then we didn't hear anything about it until like the T-Rev. We knew that something had gotten in the possession of Seth and that he had to get an attorney to get it because he had to send cease and desist letters out to a bunch of creators that basically stole it from his phone. And because he had to stop it, he couldn't release those. Those are confidential documents. And so outside of those few people, nobody really knows what's in those, but it's a crime to release that. So I think the other content creators realized by releasing it, they'd get themselves in some hot water and chose to do the right thing and not release them. So they still have the knowledge of them, but they haven't released that information, nor do I think that they will release that information. So unless something like that happens, I'm sorry, but we may never know what is in those files. KB went off on the internet today. Today? I thought that was yesterday. Did she do it again? Because I haven't seen anybody post. I think that was from yesterday or a couple days ago, honestly. If somebody has that, if she went off again, I'm interested. If it's in public forum, I'm very interested. Yeah, this was posted about a day ago. Yeah, I think this is the same one. I did read it. I read it this morning on the live from this morning. So, just kind of getting on with this. Can someone block many same someone blocked many supporters of Seth? I'm sure. That was yesterday. Okay, yeah. Okay, then I read it this morning. Yes, I did see that, by the way, Clarence. I did see that. So many of you guys saw my my thumbnail, Home by Christmas, I think is what it says. Home by Christmas. And many people may want to know what the heck I'm talking about. Hey, Pebbles, me buddy, just me, Jen. It's me, Jen. Good gracious, can't read. I'm trying to understand what happened when the dogs didn't pick up Sebastian's scent outside his home, because KP stated they went to the Texas Roadhouse. So if he has been outside, wouldn't the dogs pick up his scent? Well, that is a several part question. So let me try to break it down with what I know. This is just allegedly and in my opinion. Take it for what you will. But my understanding is, as we're learning about this, the dogs were tracking dogs, not necessarily scent dogs. So it doesn't sound like they were on to Sebastian's scent, but they were tracking someone's scent, if that makes sense. He was at the Texas Roadhouse, but when they got home, according to Miss Bobby, and that's the only interview that I can refer to, because I haven't heard from other people about this, but from Miss Bobby and her multiple interviews, she did two, one on Terry Lynn and one on JLR, and she said when they came in, they went into the garage. So he never was really on the outside of the garage, except allegedly to take the garbage out. And he may have had his tennis shoes on when he took the garbage out, if that was him. But if you're looking for the scent, he never really was outside, except potentially to take the garbage out. And that would have been the night before by about 6:30. 6:40. That would have been around the time that he would have made it home and most likely took the garbage out. So that may be why it didn't hit, because I truly don't believe he left without shoes. And had he left without shoes, I think it would have been very distinctive, especially for trained canines. Okay, Betty wouldn't be able to speak about CPS even if she did know. Yeah, but I definitely do not. Ellie said way back at the beginning it was familial scent they tracked, not Sebastian. That means someone from the home. If you find that statement, Alicia, can you send that to me? You know the email. I went, oh, sweet misery. Hey, love bug. I hope you're doing well. So, my tag says home by Christmas. My thumbnail's home by Christmas, right? And this is from something that I just became aware of earlier today. And I don't know what it means. Maybe you guys can help me. Maybe you heard a little something, something through the grapevine. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Is River up in the house? It's nice to see you, River. So on the Find Sebastian Rogers Facebook group, Tony Mathis states, Sebastian, if you're listening, buddy, know that we will go to every corner of this great country until we find you. Your army has been turned loose, and our general, your daddy, is the toughest human I know. Hashtag home by Christmas. And then it shows this. No sound, just that. Does anybody know where that is? And then this photo. And that's basically the post. And so I was reading down in the comments, and it says, I've been saying we need to go to Virginia for months. This brings so much hope. Amen. Let's bring Sebastian home. Amen. Praying big. Amen. Sebastian's army. We're Sebastian strong. Absolutely. We'll never stop until he's back home with his father. Amen. Amen. A lot of prayers going on in the chat. And it looks like there are people that know. Oops, let me go back up here. That's most relevant. I like all comments. Sebastian worldwide. Tony was Nick silenced again. I don't think so, but I don't know. Tony's praying. This will be the silver lining. So a lot of people have been answering and trying to figure out where they are, and there is something. Ocean View 757 Ocean View Fishing Pier, it looks like, is what it says on a sign. So I just thought that was interesting. They are looking and searching for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And Kay Kelly says, I noticed Sebastian and his mom had on what to me, in my opinion, looked the same. Wonder if Seth saw her inside the door, not Sebastian. Are you talking about the shoes? I don't know. I was under the impression they use cadaver dogs also, but personally, in my opinion, I believe he's still alive, hidden. But just my opinion. I hope for Seth my thoughts are right. Honestly, I hope your thoughts are right too. I don't want my thoughts to be right. My thoughts aren't good. They're not that positive, I can tell you that. They used his blanket to let dogs smell. They picked up nothing other than fresh tracks from people, but not Sebastian's, because he was incapacitated, undone, and carried out through a common area that night, in my opinion. I think that's what we're all kind of, well, some people believe a few different things. Like we still have, somebody believes he was coerced by somebody online, even though I think it's been proven over and over again, his online footprint is so small. But, you just got to let people find out, I read somewhere that Tony is in Virginia. I don't remember where. It's on the post. That's where the same post that he posted it they said Virginia Beach. So I think that's interesting that we're now searching in Virginia. I know that Tony just left Tennessee because he was just with Seth on Sebastian's birthday. trying to help Seth hold it together. And then and then it appears he's in Virginia searching for Sebastian right now as well, or at least within the last 24 hours. So I'm very curious, home by Christmas. It seems to me that it's potentially very promising. So I thought what we could do for them is pray for them, make sure everybody knows that it looks like they're searching. They must have gotten something that brings them to that area. My aunt used to live in Virginia. Aw. CP stated Sebastian wasn't allowed to be online and he didn't have a computer. So I just figured maybe if we could have a prayer chain for Sebastian, Seth, and Tony. Hopefully we can get some answers. Isn't KP from Virginia? Stacy? Interesting. I don't know. Actually, I think I remember Yeda saying, I don't remember how it went, because I remember Yeda saying, I heard North Carolina, but I remember Yeda saying that when she was 15, she was living in Virginia, because that's when all that disinformation campaign from the unscrupulous PI that's acting more like an accessory after the fact than an actual PI, not surprising. But it sounded like she was in Virginia. I believe maybe Virginia was in her past. I believe at least if she was like around 15. Visualizing works too. Visualizing Sebastian. Wayne Drake Rogers is found, and feeling that you would feel when he is found. It's another way of prayer. Oh, thank you, Amber. You're right, and that is so true. Putting good vibes out there in the world. Why would FBI say contact your embassy? I don't think they're saying that. I think that's on the flyer from at night. Because that flyer is going around. When we're on social media, we have people all over the world that watch and tune in, and hey, you never know. I mean, you just never know. And so I think it's just, people are probably, if they're in another country and they're like, well, what do I do? Well, go to a consulate. So I don't think that's the FBI saying that. I think that's just their standard stuff on their flyers, possibly. I don't know. That's an assumption, to be honest with you. How do you do a live event on shorts? I'll try to do the live event. It doesn't come out this good. This is live. You can't. I don't really do shorts. I do that in video. Because you can't do. I've never heard of a live event in shorts. So I don't know. You can reach out to me at bullhornbetty.com, and I'm happy to help you with whatever I can. Prayers for Seth. He needs his boy home with him. Absolutely. Attention to Terry Lynn. Check Ford's Pond. That would be awesome to have him home by Christmas. Let's pray. That's why I thought when I saw that hashtag, it really made me feel hopeful. And I figured, I'm all the way in Florida. I really can't help him all the way in Virginia. But the one thing we can all do is pray, right? We can sit down and pray for a good outcome. Give positive energy into the universe that he'll be making it home, and he'll be making it home by Christmas. I'd really love that for Seth. I'd really love that for him. Just the peace of mind and the closure that would have is just, it would be so amazing. So there's so much speculation, so many rumors. There's so much disinformation and misinformation. I mean, people by nature are going to speculate. You give them a little scintilla of fact, they're going to speculate the heck out of it. I think people naturally speculate in a situation like this. Oh, hey, thank you, Adrian. Stephanie received the gifted membership. Don't forget to tell Adrian thank you. So I think the speculation is always going to be, I don't think there's any, I just don't ever see any way around it in what we do. but it's the misinformation and disinformation, in my opinion, that is causing so much damage. The intentional misinformation and disinformation is what's causing the most damage in these cases. Yeah, as I'm watching this, it looks the same form of ways the short are set up. It's not your regular horizontal version. Oh, that's because one, this I do straight through. When it's like this, I do it straight through YouTube. When I do it when I do it the other way, it's because I want to show my screen, so I use StreamYard. So you get two different versions. This is kind of my lazy version. I've been doing the lazy version since I started this case. I won't lie. I used to produce every morning, several, like morning or noon and night, I'd produce, have a fully produced show. That's with the intro music, outro music, trying to find things. And I always had, my first half hour is other cases, and the last half hour of the live it's the meat and potatoes of why people are there. And we usually read I got them right over here, the language of letting go. And most of you guys that have been following me since the Sebastian Rogers case, like, really don't have a clue that this is not usually our format. And I haven't had the regular format in like 9 months. But if you go back to my regular lives prior to the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case, well, actually prior to the finding out about the X thing, we used to have fully produced lives. This is just kind of, it's easy just to pop it up and stick this in your face. Right? It's easy just to pop it up and stick that in your face than it is trying to find all the stuff. Well, we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it one of these days. I keep saying I'm going to get back to it, and then something happens and I don't get back to it. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, thank you. Thank you. What is this? Beautiful eyes, Jesus. Who? D by Christmas. That's what the hashtag is, and I think that is setting at least a marker out there to have a goal. There's a goal now. It's by Christmas. Home by Christmas is the goal. Bringing Sebastian home by Christmas. So if you guys have any information, I'm not going to bend your ear too much longer. I'm exhausted. I've been freaking working on this damn phone for 8 hours, and I got like 4 extra minutes. It's a slow process, but I think you guys will like the end result. Thank you for trying to get help. Trying to help get Sebastian home. Good gracious, you guys know I'm delirious at this point. So anyways, guys, I will see you guys first thing in the morning. I think we'll probably, until we hear some news, I think we'll probably start reading The Language of Letting Go. Every little tidbit of spiritual awareness and spiritual power we can put towards Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, I want to do. So I haven't talked to anybody yet today, and so I don't know if they're still out there. I just know what was posted. I'm seeing everything that everybody else is seeing, and I just didn't know if everybody else saw it, and if they didn't, I wanted to bring it to your attention that apparently there is a private search going on right now in Virginia for Sebastian. So I'm interested. I pray to God something works out there. Quick recap. Sure, Angie. So this is just an update that I noticed whenever I was on Facebook, that on the Find Sebastian Rogers Facebook group, Tony Mathis had posted a post that he was in an area searching for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and how they were going to go to the ends of the world trying to find him, and how Seth is the strongest man Tony knows. And then he put some clips in there which appear to be Virginia. And he apparently has a hashtag on there, Home by Christmas. So we're going to have a, private prayer. Everybody just do their thing from their house. And, when you guys wake up in the morning, for Sebastian, for his safe return home, for his dad, for his friends and teachers, that miss him. Is Mab in the chat? I haven't seen that name. I'm about to have a heart attack. Well, hello, Mr. Mab. It's nice to see you. I'm finally up when you're up. So that's nice to see you. But that's really it. I just wish you would have came in a little earlier, Mab. I'd like to hang out with you for a little bit. Come back tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a live with another creator. I'm going to be interviewing her and talking about some other things tomorrow at 6:30 my time, 5:30 Central, which would be like 3:30 your time. So, anyways. All right, guys. You guys rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. All right, guys. Have a good night. I love you and God bless.